Hey everyone, welcome to a deep dive into something pretty amazing. It's a company called TenMentors, and their approach to mentorship is really unique. Just imagine you get a box, you open it up, and inside is like everything you need to unlock your potential, whether it's for like personal growth or even to like supercharge your business. That's exactly what TenMentors is offering. And today, we'll be using their web pages and this fascinating PDF to kind of dig into the how and the why of it all.
What I find fascinating is how TenMentors is addressing this problem, this like widespread problem. See, traditional mentorship, it often favors those who are already, in positions of advantage, and that leaves so many people without that crucial guidance. In fact, TenMentors points out that a whopping 70% of people don't have a mentor.
Wow, that's a huge number. It makes you think about how much potential is out there just waiting, because people haven't had a chance to connect with a mentor. So how did TenMentors even start? What sparked this whole idea of like putting mentorship in a box?
Well, the founder, Kaime Duggan, she noticed this gap in mentorship access firsthand. She was working with a company that was expanding into Asia, and she saw a clear disparity in who received mentorship. The sales team was prioritized, while the support staff were often overlooked. She was struck by this imbalance, and she asked this pivotal question: why don't support staff get the same mentorship as the sales team? That question became the driving force behind her mission to democratize mentorship, to make it accessible to everyone, not just a select few.
So it's not just about providing mentorship. It's about making sure it reaches those who wouldn't normally have access. That's powerful. But what exactly is in this box? What makes it so special?
Well, the box is designed to guide you on your mentorship journey. Inside, you'll find what they call the book you never knew you needed. It outlines 15 strategic principles for mastering the art of living. It's not just theory, though. These principles are designed to help you set goals, build habits, overcome obstacles, even shift your mindset. It's like a practical toolkit for personal growth with a roadmap to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
15 principles. Wow. That's a lot to unpack. Are any of those particularly impactful or unique to TenMentors? I'm curious what makes them different from a typical self-help book.
That's a great question. What sets these principles apart is their focus on action and accountability. For example, take the principle of embracing discomfort. It encourages you to step outside your comfort zone and to view challenges as opportunities for growth. But TenMentors doesn't just tell you to do this. They give you practical strategies and tools, like the high-performance guided journal that comes with the box, to help you track your progress and stay accountable to your goals.
That makes a lot of sense. It's one thing to read about personal growth. It's another to actually put it into practice. That journal sounds like a key element in bridging that gap between knowledge and action.
Absolutely. And they've included real-life examples to show how these principles work. There's a testimonial from Jenny, a runner. She used the TenMentors box to get better running times and to prioritize the things she loves. Her story shows how setting specific goals, tracking progress, and celebrating small wins can lead to bigger achievements.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. You have the principles to guide you, the journal to keep you accountable, and inspiring stories to show what's possible. It's like a whole system for personal development. But I'm also curious about the business side of things. How does TenMentors turn this individual growth into tangible benefits for companies?
That's where it gets really interesting. TenMentors argues that investing in individual growth means investing in business growth. They've seen some remarkable results, like a 20% higher retention rate, a 67% increase in productivity, and even a 21% boost in profitability. It seems that empowering employees through mentorship, it creates this ripple effect, leading to a more engaged, motivated, and ultimately a more successful workforce.
Those numbers are impressive. Makes you wonder what's happening in those companies to drive those kinds of results. Is it just that employees feel more valued and supported? Or is there something more to it?
I think it's a mix of things. TenMentors isn't just giving employees a box. They're building a culture of learning and development. The principles in the book encourage employees to think strategically, set goals, and take charge of their own growth. This leads to more initiative, better problem-solving skills, and a more proactive approach to work. It's about empowering employees to become their best selves, which naturally leads to better performance and a stronger company culture.
That's a compelling argument. It seems TenMentors is tapping into something fundamental. That individual growth isn't just a nice bonus. It's a key driver of success for businesses. And they've managed to put that concept into a real, accessible format. But before we dig deeper into the business benefits, I want to go back to something you said earlier. The name TenMentors. Why the number 10?
The number 10 is symbolic. It represents striving for greatness, the pursuit of excellence. And that fits perfectly with the company's philosophy. Try, evolve, never quit. It's about understanding that growth is a continuous journey, a constant process of learning and improvement.
I love that. It's not about becoming perfect overnight. It's about embracing the process of growth, pushing yourself beyond your limits, and never giving up on your potential. And that philosophy seems to be woven into 10 Mentors itself. But I'm curious, what led Koimi Duggan, the founder, to believe so strongly in this approach? Was there a defining moment in her life that shaped her view on mentorship?
That's a great question. And it takes us back to Kayema's own upbringing. You see, she grew up in a family where mentorship wasn't really discussed. Her parents worked incredibly hard to provide for the family, but they didn't have the time or the resources to offer that kind of guidance. So she experienced firsthand what it's like to navigate life without that crucial support system.
It sounds like she had to figure things out on her own. That must have been really challenging. Did that experience directly influence her decision to create 10 Mentors?
Absolutely. It shaped her perspective when she entered the workforce. She saw how some individuals thrived with the support of amazing mentors, while others struggled to find their way. It was that realization, coupled with her experience in Asia, that fueled her mission to democratize mentorship. She wanted to create a world where everyone, regardless of their background or circumstances, could access the guidance and support they needed to succeed.
That's a powerful story. Sounds like 10 Mentors isn't just a business. It's a mission driven by a deep personal conviction. But I'm curious to learn more about how this idea of putting mentorship in a box came about. Was there a specific moment of inspiration? Or was it more of a gradual evolution?
It was a bit of both, actually. Koimi had been thinking about making mentorship more accessible for a while, but the aha moment came when she was brainstorming with her team. They were throwing around ideas, trying to find a way to package the essence of mentorship into a format that was tangible, easily accessible. As someone jokingly said, put it in a box, and the idea just stuck.
So a joke turned into a groundbreaking concept. That's pretty cool. But I'm curious with the process. How did they go about, distilling all the complexities of mentorship into a single box?
It was a really detailed process. It involved a lot of research, interviews with successful mentors, and careful selection of content. They wanted to make sure the box offered a comprehensive and impactful experience, covering everything from setting goals and forming habits to shifting mindsets and overcoming obstacles.
So they were aiming for a holistic approach, addressing both the practical and psychological aspects of growth. But how did they make sure the box worked for a wide range of people? Everyone has their own unique goals and challenges.
That was one of their biggest challenges. They had to find a balance between providing structured guidance and allowing for individual customization. The solution was to create a framework that was, flexible enough to be adapted. The 15 principles are like a foundation, a set of guiding principles. But the real magic happens when individuals apply those principles to their own lives. They use the journal and other tools to make the experience their own.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's more like a set of tools and strategies that you can use to create your own personal mentorship journey. That's smart. But I'm still wondering about what's actually in the box. We've talked about the book and the journal, but what else is there?
Well, besides the book and journal, there are a few extra things designed to enhance the whole experience. There's a meditation mask to help you focus and relax, a nice pen for journaling, and a unique paperclip that symbolizes the interconnectedness of the 10 Mentors community. It's about creating a sensory experience, a tangible reminder of the journey you're on.
It's those little touches that can really make a difference. They add a personal touch and elevate the whole experience. But let's shift gears for a bit and go back to the business applications. You mentioned that 10 Mentors has seen some pretty impressive results in employee engagement and productivity. Can you give us some specific examples of how companies are using the box to achieve those results?
Sure. Some companies are incorporating the 10 Mentors box into their onboarding process. It gives new hires a framework for success right from the start. This helps them adjust to the company culture, set goals, and develop a growth mindset from day one. Other companies are using it as a team development tool. They encourage employees to work through the principles together and support each other's growth. This builds camaraderie and a shared sense of purpose, leading to a more unified and productive team.
So there's a lot of flexibility in how companies can use the 10 Mentors program, but I'm curious about the long-term impact. Is this a one-time thing, or does 10 Mentors offer ongoing support and resources, to help individuals and businesses keep the momentum going?
That's a key part of their approach. They understand that growth is a continuous journey, not just a one-off event. So in addition to the box itself, they've created an online community where people can connect, share their experiences, and access more resources and support. They also run webinars and workshops featuring mentors and thought leaders to provide ongoing inspiration and guidance.
That makes sense. It's about fostering a culture of continuous learning and development, providing the tools and support needed for sustained growth. But I want to touch on something you said earlier, the idea of multiple mentors. 10 Mentors seems to really advocate for that approach. Why is that?
They believe that having multiple mentors exposes you to a wider range of perspectives, experiences, and expertise. It's recognizing that no single person has all the answers, and that learning from a diverse group of mentors creates a more well-rounded and enriching experience.
Like having your own personal board of advisors, each with their unique strengths and insights. It's fascinating to think about the possibilities. But I can imagine it could be tricky to cultivate and manage relationships with multiple mentors. Does 10 Mentors offer any advice on that?
They do. Actually, one of the 15 principles in the book is dedicated to building a network of mentors. It provides practical tips on how to find potential mentors, establish meaningful connections, and make the most of their expertise. They emphasize being clear about your goals, respectful of their time, and proactive in seeking guidance.
It sounds like they thought of everything, providing a complete roadmap for navigating the world of mentorship. I understand the appeal of multiple mentors, but I also wonder if it might be overwhelming for some people. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a fair point. It's important to find what works best for you. 10 Mentors acknowledges that having multiple mentors isn't for everyone. They encourage people to experiment, to find the right balance and approach that suits their needs and personality. Some people might thrive with a close group of mentors, while others might prefer seeking guidance from a wider network. The key is to be intentional and proactive in building your support system.
Right. It's about finding what works for you, whether it's one mentor or 10 mentors or a mix of both. But there's something really intriguing about this idea of democratizing mentorship. It challenges the traditional view of mentorship as something exclusive, reserved for a select few.
Definitely. 10 Mentors is making a bold statement. They're saying that everyone deserves access to guidance and support, no matter their background, position, or financial resources. It's about breaking down those barriers and creating a more level playing field for personal and professional growth.
I love that. It's about empowering individuals to take control of their development and creating a world where mentorship is seen as a fundamental right, not a luxury. But I'm wondering, in a practical sense, how does 10 Mentors actually ensure their approach is accessible to everyone?
They've taken steps to make their program as accessible as possible. They have different pricing options, including discounts for students and nonprofits, and they've teamed up with organizations to provide sponsored boxes to communities that need them. They're also actively translating their materials into multiple languages to reach a wider audience.
That's great. It sounds like they're walking the walk, putting their values into action.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about the feedback they've received. Have they encountered any pushback or skepticism about their approach?
Well, like any new idea, there's bound to be some resistance. Some people say that mentorship can't be effectively packaged in a box. They argue it needs a more personalized and nuanced approach. Others question the sustainability of the model. They wonder if the initial excitement will fade over time.
It's natural to have different perspectives. But how does 10 Mentors address those concerns?
They acknowledge the limitations of their approach. They emphasize that the box isn't meant to replace traditional mentorship, but to complement it. They also highlight the importance of the online community and the ongoing support resources in maintaining momentum and providing personalized guidance.
So it's not about replacing human connection, but enhancing it. Providing a framework and foundation to build on. That's an important distinction. But I'm also thinking about the ethical side of this. Is there a risk of commodifying mentorship, turning it into just another product to buy and sell?
That's a valid concern, and one that 10 Mentors has addressed directly. They stress that their mission isn't to profit from mentorship, but to make it more accessible and equitable. They see the box as a tool, a catalyst for growth, not a replacement for the human element of mentorship.
It seems like they're walking a fine line, trying to balance the scalability and accessibility of their approach with the authenticity and personalization of traditional mentorship. I'm impressed by their dedication to democratizing mentorship and their thoughtful approach to addressing potential issues. It's clear they're passionate about making a positive impact.
Absolutely. That passion is evident in everything they do, from the curated content of the box to the vibrant online community they've built. It's clear their goal is to empower individuals and transform businesses through mentorship.
It's inspiring to see a company that's not only successful, but also driven by a mission to make a difference. But before we wrap up our deep dive, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, the research supporting the benefits of having multiple mentors. Could you elaborate on that? What specific findings stood out to you?
One study that I found particularly interesting was conducted by researchers at a leading business school. They found that people with multiple mentors were more likely to advance in their careers, experience greater job satisfaction, and develop stronger leadership skills.
That's fascinating. What do you think it is about having multiple mentors that leads to such positive outcomes?
The researchers believe it's the diversity of perspectives and experiences that makes the difference. Multiple mentors provide a wider range of insights, challenge your assumptions, and expose you to different ways of thinking and solving problems.
It's like having a team of experts in your corner, each with their own unique expertise and insights, guiding you along your journey. But I'm curious, how does this concept of multiple mentors tie back into the 10 mentors approach?
Well, the box itself provides that framework for personal growth. But 10 mentors encourages individuals to look for additional mentors beyond the box. They recognize that the box is just the beginning, a starting point for a lifelong journey of learning and development. They believe that by combining the structured guidance of the box with the personalized insights of multiple mentors, individuals can achieve truly remarkable things.
It sounds like a powerful combination. The structured framework of the box laying the groundwork for growth, and the personalized guidance from multiple mentors helping individuals navigate the complexities of life and work. But as we wrap up our deep dive, I'm wondering about the future of mentorship. Do you think this trend towards democratizing mentorship will continue? And if so, what impact might that have for individuals, businesses, and society as a whole?
Those are some big questions. I think it's safe to say that mentorship is definitely changing. The traditional way of doing things with those informal one-on-one relationships, well, it's being challenged by these new approaches, like what 10 Mentors is doing. They're using technology and structured frameworks to make mentorship, more accessible and scalable.
Yeah, it's like we're seeing mentorship become more democratic, breaking down those barriers and giving more people the chance to benefit from guidance and support. But like you said, this shift brings up some important questions about the future of mentorship. What do you see as the potential benefits and challenges of all this change?
Well, if you look at the positives, this wider access to mentorship could lead to a more balanced distribution of knowledge and opportunities. Imagine everyone, no matter their background or how much money they have access to the guidance they need to really thrive. That's a pretty powerful idea. And I think it has the potential to change not just individual lives, but also entire industries and even societies.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities, but you also mentioned challenges. What are some of the concerns that come up as mentorship becomes more accessible and widespread?
One worry is about quality control. As mentorship becomes more commercialized, there's a chance that some programs might prioritize profit over real impact, offering superficial guidance that doesn't really help the individual. It's so important to be careful, to really look into mentorship programs and make sure they match your values and what you want to achieve.
That's a great point. It really emphasizes how important it is to be an informed consumer, to do your homework and choose programs that have a good reputation and are backed by evidence. But aside from quality control, are there any other potential downsides to think about?
Another concern is that mentorship might become too rigid and standardized, losing that organic human element that's so essential for it to work. We have to remember that mentorship is about human connection. It's about building those relationships based on trust, empathy, and shared values. While structures and technology can be helpful tools, they should never replace the human aspect of mentorship.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's that human connection, that feeling of being seen and understood. That makes mentorship so powerful. It's not just about getting advice or information. It's about feeling supported and encouraged on your journey. But as mentorship changes and evolves, do you think the role of the mentor will change too?
I think we'll see a shift away from the traditional model of the wise sage, the one who just dispenses wisdom from up high. I think it'll move towards a more collaborative approach, where mentors and mentees see each other as partners in growth. Mentors will become more like facilitators, guides, and connectors, helping people navigate a complex world that's constantly changing.
Right, like moving from a top-down model to one that's more equal, where both sides benefit from the relationship. But as those lines between mentor and mentee become less clear, is there a risk of losing that clarity of roles and what each person expects from the relationship?
Yeah, that's a valid point. It's crucial to set clear boundaries and expectations right from the start, even in a more collaborative model. Both people need to understand their roles and responsibilities, and there needs to be open communication and mutual respect throughout the relationship.
It sounds like navigating the changing world of mentorship will require being adaptable and intentional. But as we wrap up our deep dive into 10 mentors and the wider world of mentorship, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've talked a lot about how mentorship benefits individuals, but what about the mentors themselves? What do you think mentors gain from these relationships?
That's a great question, and one that doesn't get asked enough. You see, mentorship is a two-way street. While mentees definitely benefit from guidance and support, mentors also get valuable insights, perspectives, and experiences from their interactions with mentees. It gives them a chance to reflect on their own journey, share their knowledge, and contribute to the growth of others.
It's like a positive loop where both sides benefit from sharing knowledge and experiences. I think that really shows the true power of mentorship, its ability to create a ripple effect, impacting not only the individuals involved, but also the wider community.
Exactly. That's why I believe so strongly in the power of mentorship. It's a force for change that can unlock potential, inspire growth, and create a world that's more fair and fulfilling.
So as we end our deep dive, we encourage you to think about your own experiences with mentorship. Have you had a mentor who made a real difference in your life? Have you been a mentor to someone else? And if you haven't experienced the power of mentorship yet, we encourage you to explore the possibilities. Whether you choose a traditional approach or a more innovative model like 10 mentors, remember that mentorship is a journey, not a destination. And with the right guidance and support, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into 10 mentors and the world of mentorship.